So next speaker will be Rémy Guyonneau.
Yes.
Yes, very
Can,
welcome.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me correctly?
Yes, yes.
Perfect. Yeah, maybe I will share my presentation. Can you see my slides?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, perfect. So I will start. My name is Rémy Guyonneau. I'm from the University of Angers. I'm associate professor at Polytech Angers, which is an engineering school in the university. And I teach about robotics and computer sciences, and I do my research in computer sciences, in mobile robots and localization, path planning, and so on. Can you still hear me? I have the feeling that something's froze on my
No,
side.
no, we can hear you.
Okay, it's okay. I will talk about the eighth challenge from the OSINT for Fun project. So first I will present OSINT for Fun, what is OSINT, and then I will talk about the challenge, the eighth challenge. So OSINT for Fun is a project that aims to combat disinformation using educational, interactive, and when it's possible, fun approach. And the idea of the website of the project is to use OSINT tools that are used in the OSINT community and make them available, accessible, and understandable for everyone in a daily basis, for instance. So in the project, we have a website, osinforfun.eu. And on that website, you will be able to find tutorials, case files, challenges, and all kind of resources. 2 years ago, we had a vacation notebook with some OSINT riddles and so on, some puzzles inside. And each year we try to have an advent calendar. So if you're interested, like in few days it will start. So each day of December until Christmas, we will have OSINT challenge, OSINT puzzle that will be released, and you can try to do it as fast as you can. And the idea is like everything is freely available, so you don't need to have any account on the website or so on to access those resources. But if you want to save your progress, for instance, in the challenges, or if you want to do like a competition in the advent calendar, you will need to register. It's completely free, and yeah, it's for everyone. And we also try to have like real life events. Last year we organized a conference. We invited a journalist to talk about information and how to trust an information, how to identify an information that is reliable and one which is not. And this year we did a masterclass for the EU Green and named OSINT and gamification. And actually, some of the slides I will present you in the first part of my presentation are extracted from that masterclass. So what is OSINT? So I talked about OSINT in the beginning of my presentation. So OSINT stands for Open Source Intelligence. And to quote OSINT FR website, it's the art of collecting, analyzing, and exploiting publicly available information. So when I say publicly available information, what I'm talking about, it's a lot of sources around us. For instance, on the internet, you have a lot of websites, blogs, social media that are directly available for everyone. So the idea is everything you can find on the internet that is not behind like a paywall or a logging area or something like that can be used as source for OSINT approach. But it's not limited to the internet. We mainly use internet, but it's not limited to. We can use traditional media like newspaper, radio, television, or so on. You can have public government data like reports, budgets, depending on the government. And you can have professional and academic publications. You can have archives, for instance, in libraries or those kind of things. The idea of OSINT is like, if I provide you a tutorial of how to get that information, you will be able to find exactly the same information as I had. So you don't need to have some credency to go somewhere, or you don't need to know a password to access those information. All of these are considered as open source information and are used in the OSINT approach. So OSINT, mainly we used the part of collecting data. That's in the OSINT for Fun project, it's mainly that. But OSINT is not restricted to collecting data. Actually, it's based on 3 steps. So you have collecting data first, then you have analyzing data and be able to exploit the data to have some leverage to do whatever you want to do with those data. So who uses OSINT? OSINT is widely used by a lot of range of people, even if they don't call it OSINT. For instance, people working in cybersecurity, they can use OSINT tools. For journalists, they can use OSINT tools. So they are not limited to OSINT tools. For instance, they do like interviews with people, things like that, that are not OSINT at all. But they also use, even if they're not limited to, they also used OSINT tools. People working in economic intelligence or judicial investigations, all of those kind of works, they use OSINT, so they do some research on open source document. And the idea behind OSINT for Fun is like everybody can use it. So if you want to check an information, if you want to have an information about a particular subject, we think that it can be interesting to have some kind of knowledge about OSINT in order to do your research and to have to obtain relevant information. I just wanted to put a disclaimer here. In the OSINT for Fun project, we use OSINT in like a playful way, fun way. So it's like some harmless investigation that we propose to do. But when you do OSINT, you may be interested into some more dangerous topics, like for instance, mafia or terrorism or those kind of things. And it's not really a good idea to leave trace on the internet while you're doing this kind of research. So there is a part of OSINT called OPSEC that aims to protect sensitive information and activity from being observed and intercepted by adversaries. It can be really harmful to leave trace on the internet if you are doing some maybe critical stuff and so on. So just keep that in mind when you're doing OSINT. If it's just for OSINT for fun, it's okay. You don't have to be really careful. But if you do some real OSINT in like a real condition, you have to be careful of what you're doing. It's not. It can be dangerous, because if you can find some people on the other way, they can find you also if you leave some trace. So now I will just present you quickly an example of a kind of OSINT investigation, like a game one. And the work I will present has been done by Manon Dubosc, who was a student at Polytech Angers. And so I will do like an overview of what she did. If you're interested, you can find the report she made on the website, but the report is in French, so you have to translate or at least understand some basic French. So what she did, she had like a Google Map image, so the one you can see on the screen, and she wondered if she can find the day and the time this image has been taken. So the first thing she did was to look for data directly available on Google Maps. So you can have the location of the picture. So it has been taken in front of our school at Angers in France. And you can also have the months. So it was in October and the year, so in 2022. But with the website, you cannot have more information. You do not know the date, the day, and you do not know the time. And that is when she started to do investigation stuff. So first, she noticed that there were a lot of cars parked in the street, so in the Google Map view, and a lot of those cars had like a stamp, A stickers at the back. If you do some research on the internet, you will find that the A sticker at the end of the car in France, it stands for like a new driver. So people who just get their driving license, they have to have these stickers for 1 year when they start driving. So most of the time it's for young people. And if you check the opening of the timetable of the school, you will find that the school is not open on Saturday and Sunday. So mostly the cars are students' cars because they are for young people because of the A. And as the school is closed on the weekend, mostly it's not on the weekend. So it has been taken from Monday to Friday. So we can reduce the number of possible days on the months. Then if you move a little bit on the Google Street View, there are several images that have been taken at the same time, at least same day and almost the same time. And if you move a little bit on the Google Street, you will find a bus that is moving in front of the school. So you have the number of the bus, 36, and you can try to find, okay, which day this bus were supposed to go in October 2022. So first, you can search in Google to find which company handles the bus in Angers, and the company is named is Irigo. And if you go on that website, you will find that this bus 36 is not supposed to be there because it's not on the path. Polytech is not on the path of that bus. But when she did the research, it was last year, so it wasn't in 2022, and she assumed that maybe in 2022 the path of the bus were not the same than in 2024. So what she did, she used a website called Webback Machine that allow you to access older version of websites if they are being saved into the Wayback Machine. And actually, the Irigo website were saved into the Wayback Machine in 2022. So she were able to see the website as it was in 2022. And even on that version, the bus was not supposed to go there. But when she investigated a little bit further into that website, she found that there were some roadworks and that deviate the bus. So during a time on 2022, the bus did another pass than the one it was supposed to do due to tramway roadworks. So they installed the tramway on our campus, and that's why the bus couldn't take the original one. And so she was able to narrow the days from the 6 to the 31. And then by continuing like that, she said, okay, it was a sunny day, so let's check which day were sunny into that month. And she did narrow the possible dates to 7 days in the month. And then she continued to investigate, and she said, okay, on one picture, I can see that there's a green trash bin in front of the yellow one. So in France, the yellow one is for recyclable, like papers and stuff like that. And the green one is for like day-to-day waste, like food waste or something like that. And by checking when the bin has been collected on that time of the year, she said, okay, there are only 3 days remaining, like it's only Tuesday 11, Tuesday 18, or Tuesday 25. But she wanted to go further, and she said, okay, now I know that this is like the bus had a new pass, but I can still check the timetable. And due to the sun in the picture and the timetable of the bus, she concludes that, okay, it has been taken at 2 p.m. because the other time slot were too early for the sun to be that high. And she used a website called SunCalc that allows you to compute the shadow of an object if you know the height of the object regarding the time and the place on the world the object is. And she said, okay, I can try to find out the size of the shadow of a car, for instance. So she took one car and she said, okay, I can identify because of the lights that this is a Renault Modbus phase 1. And according to Wikipedia, she said, okay, it's like 160 meters, 8. Then she computed the size of the shadow and she found 2 meters. So she roughly computed the size of the shadow because it's quite complicated to do, but said, okay, it's around 2 meters. And then she used SunCalc to say, if I have an object at 1.6 meters, on every day, so on the 3 days remaining at 2 o'clock, what is the size of the shadow I'm supposed to measure? And she finds three different measurements. And she said, as the one provided by the Tuesday 11 is closest than the size of measures, maybe it's more probably that this picture has been taken on Tuesday 11 of October 22. So this is an example of a kind of OSINT investigation in a armless subject because you can leave trace doing that. It's not really a big deal. So this was for OSINT. And now I will talk about the AIDS context. So the idea is to use OSINT, as I explained earlier, as I show you in the example, but in order to address a given topic. So this contest has been developed, created for the Week of Education and Action Against Racism and Anti-Semitism at the University of Angers. So this year it has been developed. And it has been funded by EU Green. We had a 2 months internship. So there's people work 2 months to do that challenge. This challenge was labeled with a National Citizen label from the UNESCO Chair Citizenship, Education, Human Sciences and Convergence of Memories. And it has been labeled sorry, by Alain Godon, who worked on that project and who is a referent for education against extremism, racism, anti-Semitism, and discrimination. And the idea of that challenge, sorry, I think, okay, is to do some research around three fictional characters and to address some topics by doing some research with them. So the first one is Theo, who is a French Réunionese that does research about slavery. So the Réunion Island, it's a French island located near Madagascar in the south of Africa. And we have the second character who is Stéphane. She is an artist that is planning an exhibition. And the last one is Mariela, who is a young mother that wants to go back to the university after giving birth. And the idea of the ACE challenge is to go around those characters and to have to do some research about them, about some topics related to them, and to discover things about racism and so on. So the idea is to understand at the end of the challenge. Well, we would like people to the player to understand the major issues surrounding racism, anti-Semitism, discrimination, and harassment. And the idea is also to discover some resources from the University of Angers, but also national ones. And the challenge is divided into 4 parts. So you have the first one named Angers, then you have the 3 characters, and then you have the one named Together. And what I will do now is go quickly around those parts and explain which topics are addressed in those parts. So the first one, Angers, if you do those challenges, you will find some books and some people from the University of Angers or the city of Angers that are or were involved against racism and stereotypes. And you will also find some surveys and number about stereotypes. And for this challenge, you can see the gray squares, rectangles. Those are all the questions of that part of the challenge. Then you have the 3 characters. So the first one is Theo. And with Theo, you will do some research about slavery history of the Réunion Island. You will also learn about racism regarding non-white French people, because the people from the Réunion Island are kind of black, or it's like a mix of how to say of people, and they are subject to racism when they go back to the what we call the métropole, so the France without all the island and so on. And you will find more about racism in history. By doing some research with Mariela, you will learn about minor pregnancy and gender-based and sexual violence. And you will discover some resources that are available in the University of Angers about how to go to the university without a baccalaureate. So in France, to go to the university, you have to go to the high school, and at the end of the high school, you have a degree named baccalaureate, and this is like the entry to go to the university. And if you don't have this degree, you are not supposed to go to the university. But there are some programs at the university that allows you to go to the university even if you didn't get that baccalaureate. And at the university, yes, there is also you will learn about the nursery project for children's nursery project, sorry, and you will find about the equality mission of the university. Then with the third character, Stéphane, you will find about online harassment and anti-Semitism. And finally, the last part named Together is the idea is to learn about national resources about racism and anti-Semitism and to find about national student well-being resources. So how to start? So I just gave you like an overview of the challenge. And now if you want to do the challenge, how to go there and what do you expect? So you can go to the Ozin for Fun project website. And then if you look for the challenges, you will find the eighth one. And once you click on that challenges, you will have the first question named preamble. If you select that question, so you will have a description of the challenge. So what is it for and how to play. So you can read like the rules of the challenge. And then the first step is to note that you understood. You just have to write go in order to start the challenge. So you just have to write go into the text box and click on the button answer. And then it will validate this first question, which is not really a question because just to explain the rules. And then once you validated that preamble stuff, you will have a new question named first meeting. So now I will do a little bit of spoil because I will do this first meeting. I will provide you the solution and how you can go there, and only for that question. So if you go to first meeting, you have like a description of the context, a presentation of the three characters, the one that I did just before, and then you have the question. The question is, they met in March 2024 at a screening of an animated movie, and it was during the Anti-Racism and Anti-Semitism Week organized by the University of Angers. And the question is, who is the director of the movie that was screened? And the expected answer is as the format name and surname. So now to solve that, you can, for instance, go on Google and try to do research with a lot of keywords. So I did one with like mixed English, French keywords. So if you do this kind of research with racism, anti-Semitism, University, Angers, March 2024, projection, animation, on Google, you will find a link to a government website that said that there is a movie in the 20 March 2024. There is a movie which is projected at the University of Angers in the framework of the week against racism and anti-Semitism. And the name of the movie is Interdit aux chiens et aux Italiens, which in English is Forbidden to Dogs and Italians. So this is the first approach, and so you can have this the movie title, or if you more like a ChatGPT guy instead of a Google one nowadays, so you can also ask ChatGPT what he thinks about that, and actually. ChatGPT is able to provide you the name of the movie also. So for easy challenges, ChatGPT is perform quite well, but for more difficult ones, it's not good enough so far. So you still have to do some research. And if you look for the movie, you will find that it's from Alain Huguetto. So this is like the solution of the question. And if you enter that name and surname, you will unlock another like pack of questions that you can answer. And once you answer a question, it will unlock another one and so on until the end of the game. So as far as I know, this challenge is currently used in 2 courses at the University of Angers, and it is also used for PhD student training, some PhD student training. But as I said, as the challenge is completely open and anyone can do that, maybe there's some more people using that in their classes and that I'm not aware of. So that's all. Sorry, I 2 minutes late about the 20 minutes, but thank you very much. And if you have any question, feel free to ask.
Thank you very much. Interesting. It's really like a detective work.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Get into this. And I understand once you start, you can't stop.
Yeah, that's right.
So if we have some question or comment to Rémy, please.
One thing that I was thinking, not so much about this, what you are doing, but about the technology and what you are showing here. Do the criminals have any more opportunities? I think using these tools that you are showing to us. So nothing will be secret. You can go into all the movements of people and things like that. It's a transparency of the world that this is built on, I believe, through technology.
Yeah, about that. So this is just my opinion, but I think the fact is that the criminal already have those tools. So they're not learning that much with this kind of a website. The idea is to popularize those tools to the people who doesn't know because they don't need to investigate being hidden somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, why I'm asking this, because we have criminology here at our university, and their courses are very popular. So I think that I don't know if they are using this kind of technology now, but I think that will be very much in the future, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not only compassionate.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I mean, we have shared. I mean, we have got the news from you have spread to our university that you have this kind of game. But I will have to check with our colleagues if they have started using it.
Okay. So we have some challenges that are completely like available in a foreign country. The AIDS challenge is completely translated into English, for instance, but most of the resources that are explained in that challenge are a French one, and it's really focused on the University of Angers. But we could like imagine another version of that challenge that is using more of the resources and that is to learn more about resources in other country or in other university. It could be really interesting to like have other, I would say, version of that challenge. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, some other question or comment? If not, we say thank you very much, Rémy.
Thank you.